Let's talk about De Morgan's laws. And a couple of ways go through a couple examples of how we can use them. So De Morgan's laws are basically some special equivalencies. It is the case that it is not true that P and Q is equivalent to not P or not Q. Okay, it is also true that the statement, it is not true that P or Q is equivalent to the statement, not P and not Q. So whenever I have some parentheses with either a conjunction or a disjunction in it, I can use De Morgan's laws to write an equivalent statement without parentheses. This can be really helpful when I'm trying to simplify statements. Notice that the symbol in the middle changes. That's really important. If you're not sure why these statements are equivalent, make the truth table, right? Make the truth table for each of them, and you can see that it is not true that P and Q is the same as not P or not Q by just looking at their columns. Okay, let's see how we can use De Morgan's laws. So I want to write a statement that's equivalent to it is not true that January and October are fall months. So to do that, I'm going to symbolize this statement. Let's let P be the statement January is a fall month. Let's let Q be the statement October is a fall month. Then to symbolize this statement, remember it is not true that is a negation and then a parenthesis. Okay, then I have January and October are fall months, so January is a fall month and October is a fall month. So this statement can be symbolized as it is not true that P and Q. De Morgan's laws tell me this is equivalent to not P or not Q. So now I just need to write that statement. So the negation of P is January is not a fall month. Or, and then I have the negation of Q, October is not a fall month. And there I have it, a statement that is equivalent to it is not true that January and October are fall months, is January is not a fall month, or October is not a fall month. Okay, that it is not true that changes this statement in this way. Let's look at another example of using De Morgan's laws. I want to write the negation of the following statement. So she does not want a cat, but I do. So let's do, be really clever. I'm going to let P be the statement she wants a cat. So this up here is actually the negation of that. Okay. I'm going to let Q then be I want a cat. Okay, so then this here is Q, and in the middle I have the word but, which means and. So my original statement here is not P and Q. But I want to write the negation of that statement. So I want to write the statement that is, it is not true that this. Well, De Morgan's law tells me how to deal with this, and the first thing I'm going to do is negate what this was. So I'll write it this time, but I'm going to simplify that in a second. And then I change this symbol to the other one, so instead of and, this is or. And then I negate my third thing, So the negation of Q is not Q. I can use an equivalence that I don't even need to make the truth table to C must be true. Not P, or it is not true that not P is the same thing as P. So the negation of she does not want a cat, but I do, should be P or not Q, which in words is she wants a cat. Or I do not want a cat. Okay, so the negation of she does not want a cat, but I do, is she wants a cat or I do not want a cat. All right, just one more example of using De Morgan's laws to kind of simplify an English statement. Here I have, my directions are use the contrapositive and De Morgan's laws to write an equivalent statement to the following. If you attend a lecture and study, you succeed. All right, so let's symbolize these guys. How about P for you attend lecture. Q for you study. And R for you succeed. Then if I want to symbolize this statement, I have you attend lecture, P, and you study, Q. Then you succeed, R. This was an if-then, so I need an arrow. There's a comma here, so I need to group those things together. So this would appear to be P and Q, if P and Q, then R. Now, the first part of those directions tell me to use the contrapositive. So the contrapositive, remember, is if this, then that. The contrapositive is not that. If not that, then not this, right? I reverse their order and negate them. So the contrapositive of this is if not R, then not, then in parentheses here, P and Q. That was a pretty bad tilde. That one's a little better. Okay, so there is an equivalent statement. I used the contrapositive. Now notice over here, this is something I can use De Morgan's law on. It's the negation of a conjunction. So this is equivalent to if not R, then not P or not Q. All right, so we just used two equivalent things that we know, the contrapositive and De Morgan's laws, to rewrite this statement. So let's see what statement is equivalent to if you attend lecture and study, you succeed. It is, so it starts with the negation of R. It's part of an if-then. So if you do not succeed, then notice I put in my comma there because I know the next part's in parentheses. Not P, you do not attend lecture. Or you, let's see, not Q, you study, you do not study. Okay, so an equivalent statement to if you attend lecture and study, you succeed, is if you do not succeed, then you do not attend lecture or you do not study. Okay, there's 3 examples of uses of De Morgan's laws, how we can use them to simplify statements.